Hey, welcome back to Blue Ink. My name is Johannes Mutzke. Glad to be with you today. It's been a while since I've shot a video, so happy to exchange with you. You're at Blue Ink, where we explore potential, envision purpose, and execute with passion. Those are the three things that we focus on. Today, it's everything about that, going from potential, bridging purpose, and then getting to execution, or getting to the part where action happens. So excited to talk about this subject. Let me just introduce it real quick and we'll get right to it. If you're a leader, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're the leader of a mature organization, even leading your family, there's always sort of a tension or a relationship between what you want to do and then getting it done. So the big vision, what needs to be managed, the things that are important to you, the things that really drive you in terms of stuff you want to get done, but then translating and breaking that down and getting it to action. So what I want to give you today is a framework to think about that. Very simple, not hard, something that you can just easily apply, but a framework that you can think through where you are in that structure. And we'll come back to it again and again. May have some other videos coming for you where we'll explore different facets of it because it is very, very powerful. Let me introduce it to you. So here what you have on one hand is you have vision and action. And I've drawn this line a little bit longer, but let's say we're just starting out. We're starting a new organization, we're starting a new job, we have a small family, whatever it is. Really, the distance between vision and action is very small. We have an idea, we do it. We have an idea, we do it. You have an idea, you do it. Right? So the closer this is, obviously, the more connected they are in space, right? But what happens as things get bigger, as you have more success, as there's more action, as there's more stuff to do, right? So the more there's stuff to do, the more action that needs to happen, the more visioning that happens, right? The distance between both vision and action get further and further apart. Now, what does that mean for you? You know, that's sort of obvious. Now I have, vision and action. That means that in order for that to happen, and for it to happen effectively, you need some kind of structure, right? So you need some kind of structure. Now, let me illustrate what that means. So if I start building structure, let's say this is just a big, long bridge. Now that the bridge is long, I can't just suspend it from one side to another. I need to have supports in between. Think of it that way. So I start having a support here, I start having a support here, I start having a support here. What does that support mean? Basically, I'm dividing up the stuff that needs to be done to get from vision to action, right? Just dividing up the stuff that needs to be done. Why don't we just give that a name? That's the work that needs to be done. That's a process, the processes that need to be done. So, I could say if I was in an organization, hey, I have to do this to develop my product. I have to do something else to sell them. I have to do some work to service them afterwards. So I start having things I need to do that are sort of the pylons of my bridge, of my organization. That's the structure that needs to be created, the work that needs to be done. What's the third thing? So I've got the work that needs to be done. Make these arrows a little bit bigger so you can see them. The work that needs to be done. Now, the work just doesn't happen automatically, right? There's stuff, there's people, there's resources that need to be plugged in. Now I need to think of my organization, right? So who's actually going to do the work? So I have people, people and roles, and I may not have just three, but I may have a bunch of them. And I start thinking about how they work together. Well, maybe this is a team. Maybe I can put these two people in a team. So you see how I can go from roles to organizations. So what I have first is the vision, where I want to go. And depending on this, we could aim the line this way or whatever. Very important to know where we're headed, our strategy, what action we want to execute. Don't just want to jump into action without having a plan. Then there's work to be done. Let's say that's the second level, that's processes. So here's the different pieces that have to be done. And then under that, I have organization and people. That's the structure. Those are the people, the resources I need to plug in to do it. It's a very simple but very powerful way to think through your organization, think from purpose to action, and think of how you structure that. First setting goals and strategy, then chunking that up into what are the key processes in order to make that action happen, and then making my organization and their roles a function of the work. Not starting with organization. The organization exists and serves the purpose of getting the work done, translating your vision to action. That's a framework we're going to grow with and mature more, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But that's a framework I want to give you to start thinking through, a lens that you can think through as your company grows, as your family matures, as your organization develops. This is the kind of structure that you need to create to hold up the bridge between vision and action and make it possible for stuff to happen, and most of all for you to be successful. Hope that framework helps as you start thinking through it, and as you think through of how do you structure going from where you want to go, your vision, to actually making it happen at those 3 levels. We'll be back with more. Hope that was helpful.